Hey, you're listening to Pint of Comics. I'm Lloyd.
And I'm John. We swear a lot and spoil shit.
Fuck yeah.
Enjoy the show.
Welcome to another episode of Pint of Comics podcast, where today we'll be talking about our favorite man versus animal films. My name is Lloyd.
And I'm John, and it's time to get beastly in this motherfucker. All right,
Beast it up.
Let's settle the rules right now, okay? Because I know people are out there thinking, can this be like an alien? No, this is real animals.
You should have told me these rules before we started.
I told you these fucking rules.
Oh, fuck
and
you.
you
Come on.
kept questioning me. Well, what if it came from another planet? And
I only questioned you once.
You did, but your question was ridiculous. You said, okay, earthly animals. Now, what if it came from another planet? Immediately, you fucking fucked that up, right? So that just can't happen. But there's a caveat. I do want to put a caveat in there that it could be an extinct animal. It could be an animal that maybe had a little bit of something done to it that still keeps it in the realm of being that animal.
Okay.
Okay?
I gotcha.
I'm going to say that one for one movie in particular that I think will probably be on at least someone's list here. But we'll get to that. But tonight we got our buddy Joe from the horror show on again. He was on a episode we did a little while ago, Pint Movie Invitational, where we talked about the 1994 Roger Corman produced Fantastic Four, if you remember that. Joe, what's going on? How you doing tonight, man?
Doing good. Thanks for having me.
All right, man. All right.
Yeah, good to have you.
Joe, the horror show, man, just real quick again, tell everybody where they can find you and what you guys do over there.
You can find us on any podcast streaming service, and basically, we call ourselves the horror show, but we watch, pretty much shitty movies. It could be action, it could be horror, and we just have a fun time picking them apart. It's pretty lighthearted. People get angry, because horror is a beloved genre. So we do get some fans who are like, fuck you, how could you joke about that? But we just try to have fun with it.
You guys, I will say this right off the bat. You guys have an incredible fan base. Like, I follow you on Instagram. That's kind of how we got to know each other.
Instagram, Twitter kind of thing?
Yeah, we're mostly on Instagram. We have a page, the main page on Twitter. Yeah. We don't really use that. I have my individual on Instagram. I'm super active there. It's Boognish 1985.
Yeah, what is that, by the way?
For any Ween fans out there, the band Ween.
Is that what that is?
Their mascot is Boognish.
Okay.
That's I was a big fan, and that's what I was called. So.
Okay,
I like Ween, but I don't know enough about them.
Are they the chocolate and cheese guys?
That's them. Yeah.
And do they have an album that has a great big set of titties on the cover?
They sure do.
That's really all I kind of know.
Right. That's all you need to know.
What is that song? The really high voice.
Push the Little Daisies.
Push the Little Daisies.
Make them come up.
Yeah.
That's
okay.
them.
I'm not a Ween fan, but that's cool. That's cool. All right. So the Boognish, that's what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. You guys, like I said, we kind of been talking, and I've been listening lately. You guys just recently did the Piranha 1 and 2, and which kind of fits into this what we're doing here. The hot take of all hot takes, your co-host Sean said that Piranha, the first Piranha, the Joe Dante 1978 version, is a better film than Jaws. So
he did say that.
Oh, that is bullshit.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it happens. Yeah, it happens here. We got motorcycles.
Special sound effects.
Yeah, we got trains once in a while.
Nice. Yeah, he did say that. I distanced myself fully from that opinion.
Good. I appreciate you taking the correct stance on distancing yourself from that. Sean, if you're out there, if you do hear this, if you're interested enough to hear Joe's appearance, you're welcome here anytime. But honestly, keep that shit at home. Larry, you guys have in the past been sponsors of the Connecticut Cult Classics, yes. And Larry's always on this show. He did a night a few years ago that was Piranha and Jaws. Nice. And I had never seen Piranha before. And Piranha was absolutely 100% a passable film. And then Jaws is the greatest movie of all time.
I mean, Jaws sets the standard for all these movies.
Right. The movies were, and not to give anything away, but I think we're going to be building towards something on number one.
Well, I think Piranha might have the most injured kids per square inch, I would say.
I think I would agree with that.
Yeah, that's pretty sad.
I don't remember much about Piranha. As I listened to your episode about it, I remembered little bits. I remember the old, drunk guy who gets his feet bitten off, and because it's been 3 or 4 years. So I'm definitely looking forward to going back and watching that. And you guys actually did get me interested enough to watch Piranha 2: The Spawning, which I've kind of always wanted to watch anyway because it's fucking James Cameron.
Yeah.
Which is amazing. So again, you're doing a great job over there on the horror show, and you guys, what did you do recently? Like another movie I've never seen that you guys, I didn't listen to the whole show, but you totally had me interested was Stone Cold with Bosworth.
Listen, I will vouch to my death for that movie. That is the perfect action film. Like the first 2 minutes of that movie is everything you want out of an action movie. I was completely sold, and it doesn't let up. It's everything you want. If you like cheesy, over the top action, watch it.
It sounds like a SFA 80s.
Yeah, we might do that. Well, it's 90s.
Dude,
Okay, never mind.
I mean, if you guys do it, I'll come back for it. That's how much I like that movie.
Okay, all right.
I watched it for the first time this year. I'd always wanted to watch it because it's Brian Bosworth, and everyone's like, it's terrible. We do horror movies, and I made the push for Sean. I was like, let's really do it. It's turning 30 years old. And he agreed, and I was blown away. I was absolutely blown away. I'd watch it again tonight if you guys want to.
All right, maybe. We'll have you back. All right. Okay. All right, let's get into this. So, top 10 man and or woman. Okay, let's be fair. Let's not be sexist, bullshit over here.
Right. Or children.
Or someone human versus an animal. Again, an animal that exists in nature or existed in nature at one point. I will use the movie.
Or may. In some extreme.
Oh, please, you're gonna kill me if you fucking push these rules. I'm gonna get up. I'm gonna get out of here.
It's all right. It's only one movie. Don't worry about it.
All right. I have one
that's questionable.
I have one that's questionable, and we'll get to that when we get to that. And I have one that's questionable. So you know what? Joe is here with us. He is our guest. I'm gonna let Joe go first with his number 10. Now, Joe, when we do top 10 episodes, we simply have one rule and one rule only. Your 2 through 10 can be in any order you really feel. If you feel loosey-goosey and you're like, well, they're all almost the same to me, that's fine. Now, if you have them like in your actual preferred order, I like that. But I'm saying it's okay if it's like loosey-goosey. But the rule is your number 1 has to be your number 1. Okay?
That's fair.
That's for me because I can't make decisions like that.
He can't, and Larry does the same thing. Well, when Larry's on, 4 through 8 are really malleable. It's like, okay, fine. But number 1's got to be number 1. Okay. So
can I actually go the Larry route? I think I have like a solid 2 and 3 that I wouldn't. I like my top 3 is pretty set in stone, but the rest are pretty loosey.
So from 10 to 4, do whatever you want.
All right.
Whatever you want.
Cool.
All right. So what is your number 10 in the category of man? We'll just go with man versus animal films.
So real quick, I just wanted to put like an asterisk. I stayed away from extinct animals. If I had. Because I was a guest, I didn't want to step in. I didn't want to break any rules. I was a little nervous, but I would have put Jurassic Park on my list.
I'm going to be honest with you. Jurassic Park is not on my list either, and there's 2 reasons. Number 1, the extinct thing didn't bother me as much, but the frog DNA. Are they real dinosaurs in the end? Right?
So you're getting pretty technical here.
This one, so my number 2 might break a rule too, but I'm keeping it in there. But I agree with you. Jurassic Park would probably be on this. I just recently rewatched Jurassic Park. I hadn't seen it in a couple of years. It's fucking phenomenal. It holds up incredibly. All right. I'm pretty sure Lloyd has Jurassic Park on his. That's fine. We'll get to that.
Maybe.
So what do you got for number 10, Joe?
Number 10, I have from 1954, a movie called Them.
I love it.
About killer ants, large mutant killer ants. It has like the nuclear war undertone, warping them.
That's fine.
It's, I actually rewatched it this week in preparation for this because I had seen this growing up hundreds of times. I'm a huge B-movie fan. It's like what I would do on the weekends, just watch movies, sci-fi movies from the 1950s. I rewatched it to make sure that it held up. I loved it. It had kills. It had, I thought it might be lame watching it today. It's not.
Did you own it or did you find it somewhere or rent it?
Where did I watch it on? You know what? Sean, I don't know if I should be saying this on the thing. We have a shared Plex account, and he uploads things to it.
It's fine. It's fine.
Yeah, so he had that, and that's where I watched it on the Plex account.
Yeah, I tried to find them because I really wanted to get that on my list, but I couldn't find it anywhere. So
it holds up, and it's kind of terrifying. To say that now in 2020. I can't talk.
It's fine.
In 2021, to say that it's terrifying is a little ridiculous because we're so desensitized. But can you imagine in 1954 having that girl wake up in a catatonic state and just screaming them, and then giant killer ants being
I've never seen
torched with a flamethrower? I mean,
that's how I feel about some of mine. You really have to put yourself in the situation. It may seem silly just watching it, or your kids might laugh at it, but put yourself in that situation. And it can be terrifying.
The only reason ants don't take us over is their size.
Yeah.
Right.
Look at those motherfuckers. They're everybody's afraid of spiders. No one's really afraid of ants. Look at a fucking ant.
Yeah.
Those fucking things. Look, I had an ant farm, okay, about 10 years ago, right? I'm in my 30s at that time. I think my mother-in-law for Christmas got me one of those gel ant farms. Like, the shit they would do is the weirdest shit ever. When an ant would die, they would always carry its body and decapitate it and carry it and bury it like in the top left corner of the thing. It tells you this in the thing. It says this is what they're going to do. An ant would die. The rest of the ants would fucking rip its head off, carry the body up, and put it. So they think they're fucking, they got pincers. They're small. No, you're absolutely right. A big fucking ant would be a huge fucking
you
problem.
have one the size of a military tank, you're fucked.
Oh,
that's terrifying.
Forget it.
This movie's smart too. You know, a lot of times those movies just went for like the campy effect, and like they had it so that a spoiler alert for a movie 70 years old. Spoiler alert: at the end, they have to corner the queen because they know that if they kill the queen, the other ants are like that's what happens with ants and the insects like that. Like you kill the queen, the hive's done. Like the rest of them aren't gonna do anything. So that was their goal. I mean, it still holds up. I recommend it.
All right, you got me. I'm going to watch it. I've never seen it before. Or let me put it this way: a movie from the 50s. If I've seen it, it was when I was a kid, and it's been a long time. I'm very familiar with it.
Any famous stars that you can think of in that?
No, and I probably should have looked that up, but there's nobody that was super recognizable.
Yeah, no Spencer Tracy or anything.
No,
like that.
no. But I mean, again, I think Godzilla came out in '54 too, so there's definitely something in the air in Hollywood about having nuclear weapons effect.
Well, it's like 9 years after the nuke. You know what I mean? So like, it's on everybody's fucking mind.
Yep.
Right.
Like the fact that like Godzilla came out that quickly after the nuke was,
is insane.
Is insane.
Yeah.
It would literally be like, well, I guess it'd be like if we had a movie 7 or 8 years after 9/11 that was there were movies about 9/11, but like
a monster coming from
the ashes
of the tower.
I don't think we would put up with it at that point.
No.
It wouldn't have happened.
Yeah.
All right, Manster, what's your number 10?
I'll go next, sure. I really liked Them. That was great. I wish mine was as good as that. Now, my number 10 is just a fun, stupid-ass giant snake movie called Anaconda.
Anaconda, yeah.
From 1997. Starring Jennifer Lopez, Ice Cube, Eric Stoltz, Owen Wilson, John Voight. I think we all know Anaconda. It's just, she's Jennifer Lopez is on, she's making a documentary trying to find some tribe in the Amazon and runs across the John Voight character. And he's got an agenda all of his own, but he convinces them that he's going to help them. And shit goes bad. Big giant snakes. It's a lot of fun.
Riff Tracks. I saw Anaconda first run in the theaters, right? And never really thought much about it. And then maybe 7 or 8 years ago, Riff Tracks did it in the theaters. Me and my wife went to go see it. And it was hilarious. And I had forgotten the fucking John Voight accent in that.
Oh yeah, it's so bad.
John is white as me Voight, but yet he's like a fucking Colombian. He's like, you listen to me.
Yeah.
All right. He's like Tony fucking Montana in the whole movie, but he has a great death scene.
Yeah.
He gets fucking eaten by the anaconda and then barfed out.
Yeah. Yeah, and Owen Wilson, he gets sucked up. This is before he was really popular.
This is Owen Wilson. Had I think Owen Wilson had a couple things before he became really popular that he's notable for. He was in Cable Guy, right? He was the dickhead date that Matthew Broderick's girlfriend went out on with. He's in Armageddon, which I always forget until I watch Armageddon again. That he's one of the fucking astronauts in Armageddon, or one of the drillers, and he's in Anaconda, and he spends the whole movie in Anaconda banging extremely hot car horror.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Spawned 4 sequels, that movie did.
Yes, it did. Yeah, I think
none of which I've seen.
I think you're okay. I think the first one was like a theatrical sequel, and then I think the rest of them were like sci-fi, Saturday night, 9 o'clock, absolute fucking bullshit.
Yep.
All right, that's your number 10?
That's my number 10.
I wanted to go with Anaconda. I kind of want to rewatch it. I'm a huge Ice Cube fan. My daughter is named Shay, after O'Shea Jackson. That's true.
Does your wife know that's why it happened?
So... Yes.
He's the only smart one in that whole crew. He's like, I'm getting the fuck out of here.
My wife does know. She's a huge Mets fan. So Shea Stadium, O'Shea Jackson, it was like a perfect fit. So she was like, yeah, let's do it.
Perfect.
So,
okay. All right. From 2003, I haven't seen it in a long time. I tried to watch a few of these this week to kind of buffer myself on this. But this one, I think, says a lot about it that I haven't seen in a while, and it sticks with me. It's Open Water.
Yeah.
Look, okay, let's get right to it. Like ocean, sharks, scare the fuck out of me, right? I think if you're smart, they scare the fuck out of you, period. And Open Water is kind of like an interesting indie film where this couple...
Based on a true story.
Yep. This real life, or not real life, I'm sorry. Well, I think the couple, they were a real life couple as well, but actor, actress. Scuba diving, and mistakes happen in the real world, and when the scuba diving thing ends, the guys miscount,
right,
and they're still underwater, they leave them. And they leave them in the middle.
Their charter boat is just gone.
They leave them in the middle of the fucking ocean, right?
That's scary enough without sharks, right?
Right, you don't need sharks, right?
Right.
Because there's one of the scariest things that happens in this movie is not even shark involved. Is after the first few hours that they're stuck out there and they realize there's a problem, they do what people would naturally do. They fall asleep. But then, if you remember, they drift apart.
Oh yeah,
and they can't find each other. Like, imagine that. Now, at least you're with somebody else, and now you can't even find that other motherfucking person. And then the sharks come, and the sharks start nipping, and the
Do we ever see sharks in this movie?
Yes.
You do? Okay.
Yes, and they actually...
I've seen it only once, and I wanted to rewatch it, but again, I didn't get around to it.
a spoiler, it does not have a happy ending.
No.
And I think it was tiger sharks, and they filmed real tiger sharks. The actors wore chainmail suits underneath their diving suits. And I can't remember the name of the female lead, but the first scene in the movie is them naked in bed together, just talking.
Yeah.
There's no sex or anything, and she's fucking incredibly hot. So this movie's got it all. This movie's got it all.
That's what you get here at Pint Comics.
Well, hey, look, I remember like she's sitting reading topless, and she's just gorgeous, and I'm like, okay, this movie can't get better. And then sharks come.
I'm gonna have to say, too many movies have women in bed covering themselves with a blanket.
Well, it's not just
in my experience. I don't know. I just don't see that a lot.
You know what I don't like? I don't like that weird blanket affected movies where a woman is covered over the chest, and then next to her, the man, it's down and over.
Yeah.
This blanket should be like this.
Yeah.
How is it? And it looks perfectly seamed.
It just drapes.
I don't know. All right, you're right. There should be more titties in movies.
Too much of that.
I agree with you. All right, Joe, number 9. What do we got?
My number 9, and just so you guys know, if you see me look at my phone, I'm not being rude. I'm just looking at it.
No, I was pretty.
We get it.
I got a little concerned. I was like, this fucking rude bastard. No way. Yeah, I know. Your notes are on your phone. It's cool.
My number 9, 1963, Alfred Hitchcock's The Birds.
Oh, no, you know what?
No.
I've never seen The Birds. Embarrassing.
Really?
Yeah.
He's never seen a Hitchcock movie other than Psycho.
Psycho's the only Hitchcock
For real?
movie. Yeah, I've got a big blind spot.
Wow.
I just bought Notorious yesterday.
I'm gonna
Notorious
buy.
fantastic.
Criterion Collection.
I've got to buy a Blu-ray set. I'm a little embarrassed by that. I've admitted it before. I've also never seen Caddyshack, so yeah, you know, it gets people a little. And I'm of the age, right? I'm not like a young guy.
By the way, Caddyshack could be on this list.
Well,
Go for it.
You're absolutely right. Absolutely right.
Fuck. That's good.
That's right.
That's some outside the box thinking. I
I considered it.
He'll piss me off on purpose with some of his choices. I'm not comfortable yet. Like with you, I'm like, okay, if he comes up with something weird, he's a guest, and you know, maybe on your way out the door, I can say, hey, look, bud, if you ever want to come back again, we got to talk. But this guy's been here for a long fucking time. All right, so the birds, right? Is it like all birds? What is it?
Yeah, I mean, Hitchcock is really, him and Stephen King are the reason why I'm into horror.
Nice.
You know, they were the safe bets to, not so much King, but Hitchcock was the safe bet for like my parents. You know, they knew I wasn't going to see anything super extreme, super over the top watching a Hitchcock film.
Right.
So at a young age, you know, they were fine with that. The Birds is just super effective. Probably speaks more to my mental state, but I still, you know, when I see a bunch of birds flocking, this what runs through my head. Like, oh fuck, it's finally happening. Like,
Yeah, it's freaking terror. You know, it's terrorizing. It really is. Because when she's on her way, she's crossing. It starts at a bird shop, right? And there's this lady, Tippi Hedren, who's plays Melanie Daniels. Who, she's Melanie Griffith's mother, by the way.
I do know. I do know who Tippi Hedren is. He fucking abused her. Like supposedly,
he did.
like
And she even came back for, you know, she was like a Hitchcock girl,
Yeah.
sort of. But yeah, he's a bastard. But she's going to find this guy, and she gets nipped by a seagull, and that's like the beginning of everything. And
yeah, and the way that
Shit
he like
gets really
zooms in
crazy.
on the birds' faces, and they're just cawing repeatedly.
Yep.
It's like torture going into like. It's just being implanted into your brain. Like, fuck, these birds better shut up. And
I gotta see
something's gonna happen.
There's more and more. You know, it starts off with just the one, and then not too far in, like a bunch of swallows come in through the fireplace, just fill up the house. No, just imagine you're sitting there, you know, on your couch, and all of a sudden there's 200 birds flying around in your house.
No.
Get the fuck out. That's what you
I've
got to
had
do.
one bird come in my house before.
It's terrifying to have a bird in your
sucks.
house.
Yeah, it sucks.
Yeah.
So like hundreds of them.
Yeah.
And that's why I love it so much. I mean, it's such a simple, like I love movies that are such a simple concept that, you know, how on paper, how is that going to turn into a 2-hour full length movie and keep somebody's attention?
But it works.
But it works, yeah.
Have you ever been in a Home Depot or a Lowe's that didn't have a bird in it somewhere?
No.
Yeah. Home Depot or Lowe's,
right.
I'm almost convinced that they have a bird on the payroll. Because every time I go to Home Depot or Lowe's, you know, because they have the garden center, a bird is always in that motherfucker.
Yeah.
Like you're in the lumber area and there's a bird up on the like the shelving. It's like,
Yeah.
why is there a fucking bird in here? All right, the birds. And look, and Joe is coming correct too. He hasn't even gotten out of the 60s yet. So he's growing old school.
He's going maybe chronological order.
I did write them down in chronological.
All right. Man,
have you seen the iconic scene of the bird? So when Melanie's going to the schoolhouse, right? One of her friends, Suzanne Plachette, is her friend in the movie, and there's a bunch of kids in the schoolhouse, and she just goes out back to wait. She sits on a bench, and you see a playground in the back with one solitary crow. Then you see another one fly, and then you look away, and then it goes back, and it shows her whole background. The entire playground is just covered with birds, and she's just sitting there on a bench, and that's when you just get this feeling like, oh my god, this is so bad.
I'm gonna watch it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna watch them and the birds. Yeah. All right.
Some of the effects, it's 1963, so they did great for what they had. A lot of real birds and some mechanical birds.
Yeah.
When you watch The Mummy Returns and you see The Rock at the end of that's when you could say some of the effects.
Oh my god!
Because it was 2001.
The PlayStation CGI.
Oh, it's so fucking bad.
That's
so
terrible.
Bad. All right, Manster, what's your number 9?
All right, my number 9 is number 9. Number 9.
All right.
Number 9. This may violate the rule, but fuck it, I don't care. Tremors from 1990.
Well, okay, look,
it's a subterranean worm.
Look, let's be honest.
Maybe they're down there. We don't know.
I want to have fun. Right?
Yeah.
I think people that listen to Pint of Comics want to have fun.
Yep.
Right? If you're tuning in weekly or checking this out, you want to have fun. But the fact that you said that may violate my rule when those graboids are certainly not real in any way, shape, or form.
They might be down there.
I'm not even going to be mad at you. But I want you to say this totally violates the rule, by the way. That's all I want you to say. Joe came all the way here and said, I'm not even going to put Jurassic Park, possibly my favorite movie of all fucking time, on here because I feel like, they're extinct. And then you're going to come here and go with something called graboids.
The graboids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I'm cool with that because Tremor.
All right, it's not a real worm, I'll say. I could have gone with Squirm. Did you ever see that?
No.
I could have gone with Squirm. A lot of fucking real worms in that.
Yes.
But no, I mean, Tremor, it's so fun. It was unexpected. It's a classic.
It has spawned a lot of bad sequels. I've seen
I've never seen
couple.
any.
The first sequel that had Fred Ward in it was okay. Like, it was okay.
Yeah.
And then they handed the franchise over to the dad from Family Ties.
He's in all of them.
And he's in all of them.
Michael Gross, yeah.
Yeah, last year during COVID, one of them popped up on Netflix, the newest one. It was in Antarctica. It was like they were in the ice, and I watched it. And it was him, and his sidekick was Jamie Kennedy.
Oh, my God.
This movie fucking sucked. There's one where they're back in like the 1800s. I give them credit. They're trying. But yeah, the first one, though, you're right.
First one is great. It's a fun movie.
I'm going to ease off on the being a rules Nazi on this one. But you're right. It is a fucking fantastic movie.
I love that pick. I think it's a 5-star movie. Like, I know that, might sound stupid to some people, but like, I think that's a 5-star movie.
No, not at all. Not at all. I think it's a great movie. I think it's an homage to the 50s monster movies that was made in the 90s. You know, you weren't getting a lot of stuff like that then.
And you get great performances out of the actors in that movie.
Yeah, Kevin Bacon.
Yeah.
Who's
the other guy with him?
Fred Ward.
No, not Fred Ward. The other guy. Not Michael Gross. Never mind.
Michael Gross is in it, yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm thinking of another guy, though.
Reba's in it.
Reba?
Yeah, Reba McEntire's in it.
Is that the guy you were thinking of?
No.
Hey, Lord, I'm Reba McEntire. The guy who played Egg Shen, right? In Big Trouble. Yeah. It's a great movie. You're absolutely right. All right, so Lloyd's number 9 was his first rules violation. I'm okay with that.
My only rules violation.
My number 9 is a 2-year-old movie. It's only 2 years old. I saw it in the theaters with my wife, and I wasn't like I liked it, but I wasn't super hot in it until I saw it again. Mm-hmm. Okay,
that might be my number 7.
Okay, I saw it again on video.
I think this is gonna be my next one.
Okay, that's fine. I knew we were gonna have some overlay on this. 2019's, and I had to look it up because I wasn't sure. Alligator movie, not crocodile movie, Crawl.
That's right. They're in Alligator Alley. So
this is not just a man versus animal movie. This is a man versus animal versus nature movie. Yeah. Because not only do we have this young girl and her dad, played by Barry Pepper from Saving Private Ryan and a bunch of other things.
61.
Going up against. They're stuck in a house that's filling up with water due to a Category 5 hurricane. And then the fucking foundation breaks and fucking this family of fucking alligators gets in.
Yep.
It's short. It's like an hour and 25 minutes.
Doesn't the first one just like fall through the floor?
Oh, it's crazy.
Yeah.
It's absolutely crazy. the Barry Pepper character gets bitten in every way, shape, or form in this fucking movie. And I think I haven't seen it in a while. Does he live? He survives, right?
He survives.
Yeah. But he's already like in the basement with a broken leg before anything even starts.
But that's what I'm saying. He's hurt to begin with.
Yeah.
And those alligators, like they rip at least one arm off, I remember.
Yeah.
He just gets fucked up left and right. But good movie, a lot of fun. A situation that I might have left my dad alone in. Like, I love my dad, but it might have been like, Dad, it's time, I love you. Like, I gotta go. That might say a lot about me. But yeah, it just
some good scenes in there.
Oh, there's some great stuff.
Oh, especially like when the people are at the convenience store, like across the street, and they're like, "Hey!"
Oh,
hey. Yeah, and they all get eaten up.
Yeah.
Yep.
Attractive lead girl, good actress too.
Yep.
Yeah, it's just a fun movie. So I'm going.
And then when they get out, they end up back in.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No.
Because they get out, they're on a boat, and then they end up crashing right back into a house again.
You know what's really funny about this movie is that when this came out, I reviewed this for our friends at So Wizard podcast. They said, "Hey, do you want to come on and do Carl?" And I remember like doing the review, and the two Joey and Marcellus, the hosts, loved it, and I was like lukewarm on it. And I look back at that, I'm like, "What are you?"
Yeah,
like,
why?
I don't know. It's one of those things where maybe like it just didn't. There's movies, right? You've been there, right? Where there's movies don't catch you right the first time.
Absolutely.
And then I saw it on as a matter of fact, I think it was like one of those Black Friday Walmart things. It was like $5 on Blu-ray.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what? I liked it enough to check it out again. I'm going to buy it.
Jeez, I'd buy that for $5.
I bought it and I dug it. I was like, fuck, what was I thinking? So number 9 is Crawl from 2019.
Nice pick.
Joe, what do you got for your number?
My next pick was Crawl.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Aha. That's the director, Alejandro, I think his first name. Aha. He did High Tension.
Yes.
He did the Hills Have Eyes remake.
Hills Have Eyes remake is fucking awesome. Mm-hmm. Awesome. He also did do he did the Piranha Double D, right? Or 3D. Yeah, that was not so great, but
yeah, he did the first of the 3Ds. Yeah, it's better than 3 Double D.
I've never seen 3 Double D. Yeah.
You're not missing out.
Yeah.
That's definitely not on my list. That'd be on my worst animal movie list.
Once I got to Jerry O'Connell's dick being bitten off in the first one, I was like, I'm okay.
In 3D.
In 3D.
Chopper, sick balls.
All right, so you dug that one.
Yeah, I liked it a lot, and I was high on it in the theater, but I can relate to you where afterwards I just kept thinking about it and liking it even more and more.
Yeah.
So,
all right,
definitely
we've talked about it here. That was Midsommar for me. Like, I didn't see it in the theater. I saw it on video, and I was like, because there's a lot of hype behind that movie.
Yeah.
It's like, that movie was all right. And then the next day at work, I couldn't not think about Midsommar.
Yeah, sometimes it just hits you like that.
Like seriously, like middle of the day, I'm like, have you seen Midsommar?
Oh yeah, that was a lot. Yeah.
I'm like, those people jumped off that fucking cliff. Like,
I'm still gotta watch it.
Well, I'm not spoiling it. I'm just saying like one thing, but I'm like, man, all day the next day, it just kept going through my head.
Have you guys seen the movie Mandy, the Nick Cage movie?
Oh yeah.
So that actually happened to me. I watched it on a flight. We were actually from a podcast.
A flight. They showed Mandy.
Oh well, no, I had it downloaded.
Oh okay.
I was gonna say,
what kind of flight from hell was that?
No, I had it downloaded so I could watch it on my device. We were actually going to do a live show for the horror show in Orlando, so I watched it. It had just come out, and I was like, crammed into a flight and watching that guy's, dick in my face when he sings that hippie song. I'm like, what am I fucking watching? Like, this is weird. And then at the end, I was like, that was one of the most bizarre things I've ever seen. What are people talking about? Couldn't stop thinking about it for the rest of the week. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to fucking watch it again right now. And then I watched it, and now I'm all on board.
Yeah.
It's a great movie.
Mandy's fucking great. Yep. I was thinking, like, Mandy has that whole scene where it's very obvious those LSD bikers like rape those old people, and I'm like, they should. What flight? What? Before he said it was a device, I'm like, what airline am I never getting on? All right, Manster, what are we at? Your number 8. What's your number 8?
You know what? Since our list is fluid and my number 7 is Crawl, I'm just going to slide it right up.
Okay, you're going to slide it up. So we all hit
3 in a
there.
row. Crawl.
All right. And did you like that right from the beginning? Were you a fan?
Oh yeah, I was a fan. It's a swimming movie. It starts out with a swimmer. I was a swimmer, so I'm already hooked. And alligator movies. Something about alligator movies. I don't know. I'm a fan of them.
Yeah. No, they're definitely. Yeah. It's a good sub series of films out there. All right, my number 8, 2016. This is another one that this one I liked right off the bat. I didn't see it in the theaters. I saw it on video, and I really dug it. The Shallows. Have you ever seen The Shallows?
Yes. I just watched it yesterday.
Yeah.
So the one with Lively?
Blake Lively.
Yeah.
So again, I know this is going to sound like old school, like we were saying the same thing. She's incredible. Like she's a good actress, but she's so like there's nothing hard about looking at her for an hour and 40 minutes, and she's in a bathing suit, and But then, you surround that by an actual really good movie. This young surfer girl who's in the middle of dealing with like her mother's death of cancer and all this stuff. She goes out to a beach, and what is it? Does she leave her phone on the beach? Is that why she can't?
Yeah, she's got her bag, like
she leaves backpack. She leaves her bag, and she just goes out into the shallows.
Yeah, she's not far. You can see her from the shore.
You can see her from the shore, and she meets a couple of guys, and stuff happens. But essentially, a rogue shark ends up patrolling.
Right. There's a dead whale.
Yeah.
Floating in the water.
A rogue shark ends up patrolling like the area between where she is and to get back to the beach, and it becomes a cat and mouse game.
Yep.
For the next hour and 40 minutes, and it's really well done. We talked about the bird. She's got a bird friend she named Steven Seagal. No, and I honestly remember when it came out. I'm a sucker for like shark movies, right?
Yeah.
And whenever something new comes out, me and you, we went and saw The Meg together.
The Meg.
I don't know if that's going to make anybody's list, but we'll get there.
Yeah.
But so I always want to check that stuff out. I'm always looking, for the next like shark thrill ride, and I think that The Shallows is as close as we've gotten in a long time.
There's another really good one. I won't say now because I don't know if it might be on anyone's list.
All right. Well,
I'll tell you after the top 10 are done.
All right. But yeah, Joe, you've seen The Shallows, right?
I saw it in theaters. I'm like you. I actually have a Shark Week or Shark Night rather. Every year we have people that come over and we choose a shark movie to watch.
Oh, wow.
So
that's awesome.
We try and watch. I think I've seen like the majority of shark movies that are out there. So whenever one comes out, I'm going to go see it, whether it's shitty or not. So
yeah, there's something about it.
Yeah. I like when they do that in movies. You mentioned it about Blake Lively, like. They tell you the trauma that she's going through just to kind of add to that emotional baggage when you're watching it. Like I'm always just like, fuck, how much can this person take?
Well, not just that, but because then it becomes a bigger victory.
Yes.
And you're also like, there's no way they're going to kill this fucking girl, right? Like you're hoping, like, come on, man, she's going through something really tragic. Let's not, end it on, her mom just passed away and she fucking died. Oh, and then after she died, like someone raped her body or something. I'll probably cut that out because that's gross.
And that final shark death, that's something.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
If you recall.
Yes, I do.
Shooting it and blowing it up, right?
No, she chases her down.
Yeah, chases her down and she impales it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't watch that one this week. I wanted to. But yeah, that was really good where she tricks it and it impales itself on that on that piece of metal or something.
Rebar and shit on the bottom.
Yeah.
Well, all right. Did she shoot a flare that failed? Is that what happened?
Yeah, she shoots a couple of flares.
Yes.
Flares, yep.
All right, Joe, what are we at? 7? Number 7.
I'm going back in time now to 1977.
All right.
One of the first Jaws ripoffs, trying to capitalize on that success, and it's a movie called Orca.
Love it.
Oh, yes.
You guys have seen it?
Yeah.
The first 15 minutes of Orca contains one of the most insane scenes I think I've ever seen in a movie.
Yeah.
In which, I don't know, should I spoil it?
Oh, absolutely. Okay. We're all spoilers.
Yeah, we
here.
can spoil it.
All right. So they catch an orca. It's very, very similar to Jaws. It's almost like the same plot line, the same story.
It's also very Moby Dick.
And very Moby Dick.
Yeah, which Jaws is very Moby Dick, the Quint portion of it, but Orca is like really Moby Dick.
Yeah. With the guy that plays Dumbledore.
Richard Harris.
Yeah, Richard Harris. They capture an orca, and then that orca ends up being pregnant, which the baby falls out of the pregnant orca body.
It is so...
And you see the father orca in the water, declaring revenge,
Yeah. This is another one that I tried to watch this week, and I just didn't get around to it.
The scene he's talking about, if you've never seen Orca...
I've seen it, I just don't remember, and I definitely want to go back and watch it.
I recommend.
It is simultaneously upsetting to no fucking end.
Yeah.
And then the other thing you think about is that, in some movies, if something like that happened and the father animal saw it, animals... Look, I'm not discounting animals. But
animals are vicious.
But certain animals, like a fucking killer whale, you could actually envision it saying... I'm going to fucking destroy all of you.
I mean, that's the thing with that scene is it comes out of the water and this sounds so stupid to say because it's a fucking whale, but the way that his face looks, like this whale's pissed. He's going to fucking kill you.
And not to mention the actual, for lack of a better word, the miscarriage is fucking horrifying.
It's terrible.
They show it. There's all these noises, and it's a terrifying scene. And the whale sees this shit and it's just like, I'm gonna fucking destroy you. And spoiler alert, that's how the movie ends. Is he fucking goes one person at a time until he drives Richard Harris out into a fucking one-on-one battle that Richard Harris's character knows he is not going to come back from.
Right, and Richard Harris also tells Bo Derek's character, one of the female leads, he's like, I'm just going to shoot it from like afar, you know, with a sniper rifle. And she's, for some reason, she keeps harping on the fact that like you need to square up with this orca and fight it on its turf, one-on-one. And she like literally gives him like a pep talk, like, you know, don't be a coward, go out there and fight it.
Yeah,
I was like, why would you do that?
What is she thinking?
Well, she gets killed for that anyway.
Yeah.
And also has a great, you know, memorable, if not corny, scene in the beginning where an orca kills a great white, which I think was supposed to be their like little like
fuck you to Jaws.
Fuck you at Jaws.
Yeah.
Orca, absolutely fantastic. I just recently bought the Blu-ray at the last trip we took to the archive. They had it, and
did you buy it then?
I bought it. It's sitting over there somewhere. Yeah. I'll let you borrow it if you want to watch it.
Yeah.
It's fucking great. But I'm telling you right now, that matter of fact, I remember like the night I bought it, I was gonna watch it out here. And I purposely didn't want to watch it with Lindsay in the room because I knew if she caught that fucking miscarriage scene, my wife's a big animal person, I knew it was going to be fucking like, just like, I'm going to go in the other room.
Yeah.
Like, that's like, watch when you're alone, when no one's around, because that scene is fucking, it's hard. It's very hard.
I'm definitely going to watch that again.
Yeah. All right. So that was Joe's number 7. Lloyd, what's your number 7?
All right, so my number 7, which slid down from number 8, is 1990s, my other 1990 film, Arachnophobia.
Hell yeah.
All right. New species of like Venezuelan asexual venomous super spider just sort of gets transported to rural, where are they, California?
Canaima, California. It's a fake town, but yeah.
And basically just murders the fuck out of the town folks.
We did our top 5 movie episode of 1990 a couple years ago.
Yeah, that was on your list.
This was on my list. Yeah. I remember seeing this in the theaters, and it was one of the best theater going experiences I've ever seen. So me and my friends, you know, I was like 15 at the time or whatever. Me and my friends go to the theater, and we go see this Arachnophobia thing. And it was a packed theater, the Meriden movie theater, you know, where it's now like a medical center.
Yep.
And literally, this was one of those movies where everybody was screaming in the fucking theater.
Yeah.
Right? Because again, we talked.
I mean,
about
you
ants
get your
before.
money's worth of spiders in this movie.
Oh, well, that scene where they're coming out of the bathroom sink.
Yeah, that's like in The Birds. When I was watching that, it just reminded me of The Birds when things are just invading your house and you have to get out.
Right.
Yeah.
Great juxtaposition of small town life where nothing can go wrong, and then everything going wrong, and then this other part that people forget about, that beginning like 15 minutes in like the Venezuelan jungle, when the cameraman gets it and it's great, dude, great movie, great fucking choice. Absolutely.
Great line too when he gets transported and the mortician or whatever, he opens it up and he immediately gives the guy a call. Remember we agreed on open casket? Now we're gonna have to rethink that.
Yeah, and it's full. I mean, besides you get Jeff Daniels, you get John Goodman.
Yep. Really good performance. John Goodman's always good.
Performance.
Like that.
He gets his own theme song in that.
Yeah.
As the Exterminator. He follows him around. I love that. So Arachnophobia is actually in my top 3, my non-negotiable top 3.
It's
Yeah, I like it that much.
I don't want to sound like a dumb person, but like when we're making these lists, I wanted Arachnophobia in here. But I had to look up whether spiders are animals or not. Like, I couldn't remember.
Insect
animal, yeah. And like, again, look, hey, I don't want to sound dumb, but I was like, are insects in the same like genus as animal? And it was all cleared up by a probably Wikipedia. So I felt good because it's on my list as well.
Well, this particular one was the last entry for me because I had all my movies picked. And at that time, I noticed every single movie I had was a different animal. And I was going to slide in a shark movie in here.
Oh, okay.
And I figured, you know what? Fuck that. I'm going to go all 10 different animals.
Okay, that's fair.
So that's how Arachnophobia got in.
All right, my number 7, I just rewatched last year. I had to take like 3 days off because of a COVID scare at my work. So and I watched 12 movies in like a 3-day span because I was in the back room. I couldn't come out in the rest of the house. So I watched this during it, and I had seen it before. I saw it in the theaters. I had not seen it in a long time, but it holds up. 1996, Val Kilmer and Michael Douglas, The Ghost in the Darkness. Killer lions in Africa.
All right.
Val Kilmer plays a Irish rail engineer who works for the British government, who is sent to Africa to build a railroad. And he gets down there, and essentially, as soon as he gets down there, this pair of lions, this is based on a true story too, which has never happened before, just start killing everybody. Like murdering everybody, not like eating them, like stalking them and killing them. And the British government, do your fucking job, right? They're like, we don't care, get the job done. All the village people that are helping out, not the village people from YMCA. All the people from the actual villages are helping out, are slowly getting picked off, are getting scared. There's disease like running rampant through this place. It takes place in, I think, the 20s. Or maybe like earlier than that, the 10s. And eventually they decide to hire, Michael Douglas doesn't show up till like almost 45 minutes into the movie, an hour into the movie. He's a big game hunter who's very famous, right?
Yeah.
And he comes to help Val Kilmer's character kill these lions. Shit doesn't really work out perfectly. It's you've never seen it, so I won't spoil it. No. I won't spoil it for you here, but well worth a watch. And it's just it's you know, I don't want to say a scary movie. But like lions, like, look, we talked about like ants, right? And then we talked about like truck-sized ants. We talked about birds. Like a lion. Okay,
so a lion.
A bird. I got a chance in a fight with a bird. All right? We all have a chance in a fight with a bird, right?
A lion's the same size as you know?
A lion's like,
nothing but muscle.
Probably bigger and nothing but muscle.
Yeah.
So like, you know, ant. I got a chance in a fight with a bunch of ants. A fucking lion jumps on me. I'm pretty much knowing that no matter what I do, it ain't going to work.
Yeah.
Right? It ain't going to work. I even feel good about my chances with a shark. Because a shark, I could poke it in the eye and it might swim away. I'm pretty sure if I poke a lion in the eye, it's just going to fucking, it's just going to piss me off. It pisses off more. So yeah, 1996 is The Ghost and the Darkness. If you've never seen it, like before you leave,
I don't think I've seen it.
Before you leave tonight, I am going to get my DVD copy and send you home.
All right, you better.
All right.
Yeah,
Yep.
And you're a fan too?
That's a great choice. I haven't seen it since it came out. I want to rewatch it, but Kilmer and Douglas give great performances in that.
They're awesome.
That's what amplifies that whole movie. Like Kilmer's pretty underrated as an actor, which is kind of crazy to say because he's so well known. But
He is.
Even when he's in like movies like The Island of Dr. Moreau, which is a terrible movie, he gives it his all. And like in movies like this, where it's actually good, it just like really showcases his skill.
The only place he didn't ever give it his all, we did the Triple T episodes, the Trash, Tolerable, and
Batman.
Treasure. We did Batman Forever, and he phones it in.
Yeah,
If you haven't seen Batman Forever in a while, and you want to watch it again, he phones it in so fucking hard.
He does. But super hot take. Jim Carrey fucking kills it as the Riddler.
Are you a fan? Yeah. I think you're of that age.
The age limit. So that was my
Yeah.
Listen, I don't want to say that was my Batman because Keaton's my Batman, right? Like I grew up with Keaton, but like I was that age when it came out that I was able to start going to movies with like friends.
Right.
And, like it's a fucking Batman movie. So I think it just has a special place in my heart. And Schumacher died last year, so I rewatched it after he passed. And I thought it was fine.
Are you? It's not. Fun.
I couldn't stand that movie.
I thought I would have a better time with it. It was not good. Are you excited about the possibility of have you heard there's a possible Shoemaker cut out there that's darker? Oh yeah, we talked about it on our episode, and our guest Mike had brought it up. He's probably your age, and he was a big fan of it. And he brought up the fact that they've been talking about this. And I think when we researched it, we found some stuff on YouTube. And after the what was it? The fucking Snyder cut of the Justice League thing became big. They started like a hashtag of release the Schumacher cut. And nothing's ever been said about it. But if you go on YouTube, you can see some scenes that are actually darker that were cut out that the producers told him that he had to make it lighter and airier.
Shit.
Yeah. So
Well, if it makes up for my praise of that, I think Batman and Robin's one of the worst things I've ever seen.
No, that's bad too. That's bad too.
That's horrible.
It's okay. No, hey, we're fine with everybody having their own opinions. We got some fucking goofy opinions too, so don't feel bad about that. Boognish 85. So were you born in 85?
Yes.
So you were like 10 when Batman Forever came out.
Yeah.
So I can see that's absolutely right up your alley. And I don't blame anybody for that. I can see why you mentioned Jurassic Park.
I'm still a fan of Labyrinth, no matter what Jen says.
That fucking movie sucks. Dance, magic, dance. All right. Joe, what is your number 6?
My number 6, I'm going to go 1978 with a sequel, my first sequel on the list. I'm going to go with Jaws 2. And since I've already made an unpopular opinion, I'm also going to make another unpopular opinion. I think Jaws 4 is very enjoyable to watch.
Oh, I've never seen Jaws 4.
Oh,
so
I mean, it's not. I'm not saying it's good. I'm just saying it's very enjoyable to watch.
I haven't seen it in a long time. We did a Triple T episode about Jaws 3 as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
I picked 3 over 4 because I think 4 is easier fodder, and 3 really sucks. 3 really sucks.
Disney World.
Yeah, 3 really sucks. Jaws 2, though, that's a solid choice, man.
And Jaws 2, I actually didn't love the first time. Actually, probably the first 2 times that I saw it, I didn't love it. And then we always have that Shark Week, and that's always, or that Shark Night, and sometimes we'll just, if we run out of ideas, we'll just put on Jaws and put on Jaws 2 afterwards. It's like, it's grown on me.
Okay.
It's grown on me.
I've always been a fan. Storied production with that movie. Storied. Like, they fired the first director, was going to go a totally different way. Roy Scheider wanted nothing to do with that movie. He wanted out of it. The original idea for Jaws 2, and Steven Spielberg was into it, was to have, it was going to be about Quint's story of the Indianapolis. And then that got, that wasn't going to happen. And just very storied production, a lot of trouble in that production. Jaws 2, the thing with Jaws 2 is that, I don't know if a lot of people look at it this way, it's a fucking slasher movie.
I've heard people make that claim.
It's a bunch of teenagers getting, terrorized and picked off by a shark.
The kid from Christine and Back to School.
That's right.
Keith Gordon,
Yeah, he's great in that. And that they're stranded on a raft and the shark's hunting them. And
yeah. And you get some great moments. And look, period, the end. There's never been a better movie tagline.
I was just going to say, and
never.
People attribute
What's the
that
tagline?
to the first one. Just when you thought
Just
it was
when
safe
you
to go
thought
back
it
in
was
the
safe,
water.
that's right.
Yeah.
And people always credit that to Jaws,
Nope.
but it's a perfect sequel. Like, just when you thought it was safe to go back,
Yep.
Jaws is over, now Jaws 2. Like, it's perfect.
And look, Spielberg didn't come back in a directorial capacity. I think he might have produced, but John Williams came back.
Yes.
The music is fucking great. It is a fucking super solid sequel. If Jaws never came out, Jaws 2 wouldn't have been the film Jaws was, but I think it would have been a memorable film. So if Jaws 2 was Jaws, right? It would not be the level that Jaws is at. But I think people would remember it,
I agree with that take. I think, I don't think people would be afraid to take showers after seeing Jaws 2. Like, go anywhere near water like they did with Jaws. But I do think if it was the standalone, it would have gotten way more love.
Absolutely.
Way more memorable.
Absolutely. And that tagline, I mean, yeah, you're right. People attribute it to Jaws. Nope. That is not only is that maybe the greatest tagline of all time, Jaws 2 is the first sequel that has the number 2 in it. The Godfather Part 2
not a
came
Roman
The
numeral.
Roman
too.
numeral.
Yeah, Godfather Part 2 came up before and had the Roman numeral.
Yeah.
Jaws 2 is the first Hollywood sequel that uses the number 2.
Yeah, cool.
So thanks for that, Jaws 2. All right, Manster, what's your number 6?
My number 6 is a 2011 movie featuring one of my favorites, Frank Grillo.
Frank Grillo, okay.
And Liam Neeson be the star, called The Gray.
The Gray, yeah.
The Gray, such a good wolf movie.
Yes.
You know, these guys are basically just like cons living in Alaska, and they end up getting on a plane. There has a great plane crash scene. Very harrowing. A lot of crazy. I forget what opens first. Something gets sucked. The door gets sucked out or something.
Yeah,
I forget what caused it.
They crash low altitude, right? Like they barely get off the runway.
Yeah. Well, no, they're on there, and then they have some turbulence, and you think they're just dealing with turbulence, but plane ends up crashing. A lot of people survive, and then they just got to get out of there. Nobody's going to come to save them, not within the amount of time that they have to live. And immediately they hear what's a wolf? A company of wolves?
Yeah.
Whatever. And you see their eyes, and these wolves, they just keep stalking them. And you got this alpha wolf, and you can hear this guttural growl that this alpha wolf makes, and you're like, that doesn't even sound, like of this earth. And of course, Liam Neeson is a badass. Frank Grillo, sporting kind of like a gruffy face in this. He's not even recognizable as Frank Grillo to me.
Who's the other guy in this one who I like a lot? He was in The Departed.
Dermot Mulroney.
And then I can't think of his fucking name, but he was one of the state cops in The Departed.
Yeah, is he the kind of greasy haired guy?
Yeah, I think so. I can't remember the actor's name. I wish I had looked that up. And Neeson plays like the sharpshooter. That's actually employed.
He's actually employed to shoot the wolves and save the people.
Yeah.
There's a great scene when he goes down. He's like way far away from the crash. He gets sucked out and he's all on his own. And he makes his way over to where the crash is, and then he finds the people inside. And there's a really harrowing, really heartfelt scene where there's a guy that he's comforting as he's dying. The guy's like just bleeding out, blood is spurting, and he's just holding his hand. And the guy's like really afraid, and he goes, no, it's okay. It's just going to slip over you. It's okay.
It's gonna wash over you.
It's going to wash over you.
You gotta say it like him.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid of the dark.
It's just gut wrenching to watch him do that. And then you got the final scene. There's another scene where the guy drowns underwater.
Yeah.
Within like 1 inch of the surface.
There's a I don't know if it's post or mid. There's a post or mid credit scene in that movie where you actually see well, spoiler alert. So the movie ends with him and like the alpha wolf having
he's in the den of the wolves.
Crazy fist fight with like he's got like little fifth bottles like broken in
and
between
a knife
his knuckles.
in the other hand.
And it kind of ends ambiguously, right? Where you don't know like if they both go down.
You don't see the fight. It's just
There's a scene that after it you see them laying down bloody and then they start both breathing again.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh,
yep.
I didn't stick around that long last time I saw it.
Yeah. I saw it a long time ago. That's directed by a guy, Joe Carnahan, who's made some pretty fucking cool movies. He made, right before that, he made A-Team with Liam Neeson, which I don't care what anybody says. I enjoy that movie.
A-Team movie is great.
A-Team movie's fun as fuck. And then he also made a couple years before that another movie that is kind of widely reviled, but I've always liked, what the fuck is it called?
Smoking Aces.
Smoking Aces.
Yeah, another good one.
Yeah, another good one. People hate that fucking movie.
I love that movie. Jeremy Piven.
Over the top stupidness, right?
Total over the top stupidness. Yeah. Yeah. All right, so that was your number 6, right?
Number 6, The Gray.
All right, my number 6, 1999. Let's see, Bridget Fonda, okay, William, not Bill Paxton, but Bill Pullman, and Oliver Platt. It's not an alligator; it's a fucking crocodile. Yeah, it's a giant crocodile. Brendan Gleeson. It's Lake Placid.
Yeah, Lake Placid.
Now look, Lake Placid.
Betty
White, right? Lake Placid is a movie that I saw when it came out. Didn't see it in the theaters. Rented it with my wife. 20 some odd years ago, 1999. I was not super impressed by it. Whatever, it was fun. Over the years, I keep hearing people how much they love fucking Lake Placid. Lake Placid, Lake Placid, Lake Placid. Last year, maybe during or before the pandemic, I was on like Tubi one night and it was on there and I watched it and I said to myself, fuck, that movie is fucking almost perfect. It's an hour and 25 minutes long.
Yeah.
So it does not overwhelm its stay. It's fucking funny as shit. The scares and the crocodile stuff is on fucking point. And it's just really good. Really good. This is another one that has spawned a shit ton of sci-fi sequels and, Lake Placid 7. And I'm not going past Lake Placid 1. Have you ever seen Lake Placid?
I've seen it. I don't recall it. It was so long ago.
Telling you slept on it because I did.
Yeah.
Joe, are you a fan?
So we covered it for the show during our first run. And I will say, if anybody's going to check out my show, the first run, we tried to be like fucking Siskel and Ebert, like super critical.
Yeah.
So like I would pick apart movies, and then when I was on hiatus, like for instance Halloween H2O, I picked apart and I watched it, and I was like, what the fuck was I talking about? It's fun,
Right.
So I think I was being a little too harsh for a movie like Lake Placid.
Exactly, because it's a movie like Lake Placid.
Right. Yeah.
And like you said, and I'm not saying there's anything wrong with being critical, especially when you're doing a critical show, but sometimes if
you're gonna pick apart Lake Placid, you're not gonna have fun. Like just enjoy the ride. So I think I should give it another shot.
And I think maybe when I saw it back in '99, I did the same thing. I probably went, that was all right. I watched it, like I said, a year ago, 20 years later, and I was like, fuck, man, this movie is fantastic.
I do have beef with it not taking place at actual Lake Placid, though.
Oh, does it not in the movie?
No, it's called Lake Placid because it's a placid lake. It's like a calm lake.
Oh,
okay. But it's not actually Lake Placid.
Okay, I will. Okay, I'm in on that. That doesn't seem very smart. It'd be like if they called it Lake George, only because a guy named George was in the cast. No, this doesn't take place.
I'm going to write that script, Lake George.
Lake George, and it's just some guy named George that hangs out by a lake. All right, what is your number 5, Joe?
Going back to keeping it in 1978, like Jaws 2, Piranha.
Piranha.
Very recently done on the horror show.
Very recently done on the horror show. I like it. It has the Jaws blueprint. It's Joe Dante. I think we weren't recording at that time, but we talked about a little bit earlier when I came in about how it just picks apart a group of children. Like
it does.
I've never.
Yeah.
Children are like a safe space in movies. Like, you don't see that.
They're in a campground, right? Yeah. And they're all in their inner tubes and floating around, and the piranhas just come, and every child in there is being eaten
they annihilate
by piranhas.
It's a massacre.
And then you see bodies just laying on the shore afterwards.
Yeah. Watch the bodies on the shore.
Yeah, it's the bodies on the shore.
That's good.
Oh man.
Yeah.
And of course it starts out with the guy and the girl gets naked, jumps in the water.
Yeah, if I remember, because it's been a couple years since I've seen it. I only saw it once. Isn't that like an abandoned military installation?
Yes.
But it's not like there's no guards or anything.
Well, they were
There's
developing
one
the
guy.
One guy.
piranha for the Koreans, right? For the Korean War? Is that what it was?
Vietnam, I think it was.
Was it Vietnam? And they were going to send them over there because they were developing them so that they could adapt. And they were going to just tear apart everybody in the town.
Which is like a fantastical idea, but
Yeah.
also not that fantastical when you think about
Yeah,
it.
right.
I can see them trying to do that.
So one of my favorite parts, again, like I said, I started listening to the horror show, and you guys were talking about it, and you both, said it at different points, but I just thought it was one of the funniest things I've ever heard somebody say out loud, is you both said military grade piranha. And I just thought, man, that's a fucking awesome, that's a great
Nice.
band name. It's just a great, this is a sentence.
Yeah, it is, right?
It's a little 3-word, jab you would probably never hear in life. Military grade piranha. Okay. Joe Dante, like you said, went on to do a lot of stuff, and
One of my favorite movies of all time, The Burbs. So,
never seen The Burbs.
dude,
Yeah, I know. I've got my little spots.
listen,
Yeah.
if you guys want to do it on the show, I'm coming back for The Burbs.
All right.
That
You want to come
is-
back for The Burbs? All right. Well, actually, it's probably a good time to mention this is next year we're going to take the Pint Movie Invitational format, and we're going to put it on
change it up
hold,
some.
hold for a whole year. So
Yeah.
we've always done the invitationals. We let people pick and come on. We've been doing that for 3+ years. So 90% of the movies we've reviewed on here have been picked by the by our friends and listeners. Fuck it. In 2022, we're picking the movies.
right.
So when we get to there, we'll do The Burbs, and you
That's
can come
right.
back.
I love it.
All right.
I love it.
Excellent.
So speaking of Dante, just real quick, the other night on Saturday night, my wife had never seen it before, and I said, "Do you want to watch Gremlins 2?" And I said, "You're gonna have to remember that this is not like the first movie in any way, shape, or form." And I had not seen it in a while. It's got to be the craziest studio sequel of all time, because literally, have you ever seen Gremlins
I
2?
don't remember Gremlins 2.
It is like it is. There's a Key and Peele sketch about the making of Gremlins 2,
Yeah.
where it's essentially just people around the room just yelling out different things, and the guy's like, "It's in the script." There's a vegetable gremlin in the script. That's what this movie seems like.
Hulk Hogan is
man.
watching Gremlins and breaks the fourth wall
Breaks
to
the
yell
fourth
at
wall.
the audience, and then to
Really?
yell at the Gremlins for messing up the reel and being like, "Put that back, brother."
Yeah.
I do remember that. Okay.
It's absolute insanity. All right, so all right.
Let me ask a question
Yeah.
because I don't think I've ever seen Piranha 2 through 7. Did they show more Piranha? Because in Piranha, the first one, there's really no scenes of Piranha. There's a couple little underwater scenes.
Yeah,
Fly.
it's like
There's
flopping
lots of
heads.
bubbling
Yeah.
water, but there's
They
not a lot
fly
of Piranha.
in part 2.
All right.
In part 2, they fly.
So they got more budget.
And credit to James Cameron. Piranha 2 sucks. Piranha 2 is not
Yeah.
a good movie. But credit to James Cameron. They're flying piranhas. Like he pulled it off with what he was working with. So.
Hey, you went on to make all the avatars.
Nice.
All right, that was your number. Was that 6?
5, I think.
5. All right, so Lloyd, 5. What do you got?
Now, I got a movie that I'm not sure you guys are going to know. Maybe Joe. Maybe you both know. 2014. It's a movie loosely based on real events in Canada. It's a bear movie
Oh,
called Backcountry.
never heard of it.
Never heard of it. You've heard of it?
I've
Have you ever seen it?
I have not seen it.
All right. So
It was
there's
recommended to me by one of my listeners.
Oh, it's fantastic. So there's this guy and this girl, and 20-something, and they're going hiking in the woods, and you don't know it at this point, but it is the gentleman's goal. He's going to propose to this woman at this beautiful lake that he remembers because he's frequently, hiked in these woods, and it's where is it? I got it written down here. Backcountry of Missinaba Lake in Provincial Park in north of Ontario.
Oh, I know. I summered
So,
there a few years
yeah,
ago.
yeah. This happened in 2005. So he's been there before, and there's a lake, and so he takes her up there. He's like, "I'm going to show you this lake. It's majestic. You're going to love it." And she's not 100% into it. You can see that, and she's got her bear repellent, and she's got a whistle, and she's got things, and
Hope she's not menstruating.
I don't know. They didn't get there.
That's
but,
the problem with bears.
Yeah,
man.
yeah, you're right. But when he gets to the registration area, they're like, "Oh no, that trail you want to hike, that's closed. You can't hike there." Well, the guy ends up going there anyway, and so they're on their trek and they're making their way. And the girl's sometimes into it, sometimes like hesitant. They're they're camping along, and all of a sudden you see this guy there. He goes down to the river, he's getting sticks or something, and when he comes back, she's talking to another guy. And he's like, "What the fuck's going on?" And do you know Eric Balfour?
Hell yeah.
It's
Big
him.
ears. Fucking big ears, that guy.
So he's playing like I can't remember. It was a Irish guy, but he's real creepy. He claims to be a guide. You know, people hire him to just be a guide and go through the woods. But he's coming across real creepy. And by the time he's out of there, he's pretty much terrorized these two people. And he leaves. They make their way. He sees slight bear tracks. He sees little things that he knows that there's a bear around. Yeah, but he doesn't tell her. And he continues to move on. And by the time he gets to the big majestic place that, you know, it's a bluff looking over a lake, there's no lake. It's nothing but trees. And they both realize we're lost. And he knows that there's a bear around. It's been tracking him. So, you know, there's a couple of scenes where you see shadows of bears and stuff, and they're in their tent. And then the thing happens where they're in their tent. The bear's right outside. He opens the tent door. He sees the bear. It's a big, huge black bear straight across. He zips up the tent. She's like, what's wrong? So now everything's just happening inside this tent. And he keeps unzipping, and you see the bear a little closer and closer. That bear rips through the tent, pulls him out, eats his fucking face, and just shreds him apart while the girl's like there. She takes off, and then the rest of the movie is her just trying to get away from this bear. But it is so harrowing. Have you ever seen The Revenant?
No, you know, I never saw that.
So this bear thing was, for me, it was between these two movies, but this is more about a bear. The Revenant really isn't a movie about the bear. But this clearly is leading up the whole time to this bear attack.
All right, Joe, real quick.
It's fantastic. You've got to see it.
You're going to get attacked by one of two animals. Who do you want to fight, a bear or a fucking lion?
Oh, man.
It's happening. Look, I'm going to open door 1 or 2. You've got to fight one of them. Don't go, I'd rather not neither. You got to tell me what door to open.
What kind of bear? If it's a grizzly, I might choose the lion. If it's a black bear, I might be able to hit it with an uppercut, you know?
I'm gonna, because you're confident, I'm going to go a black bear.
Okay. I think I'd rather fight a black bear.
Okay.
Because they've trained, you know, there's been, like, ballroom dancing black bears.
But no, this is a wild black bear.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying.
This bear isn't on Dancing with the Bears.
I'm just saying I've never seen
This is
anyone box a lion.
a big, giant, hungry black bear.
This bear's hungry.
Right, I'm just saying, you know, they've been trained to dance, so maybe, you know, this is one that.
Are you thinking that you have enough time to like train it to fight you like less like ferociously than like to want to kill you?
I'm just saying nobody's ever boxed a lion and survived, so I'd rather take my chances with a bear.
That's fair.
Yeah,
answer.
After seeing this bear, I'm gonna pick the lion. He'll probably do me.
The lion will eat your face too.
He'll do me faster though, I think, than the bear.
Yeah,
the bear's gonna just like play around and fucking just.
I mean, you can play dead, and the bear might poke you.
Yeah.
The lion's gonna.
Well, that's what happened in The Revenant, right? He played dead.
That's true.
But he did survive.
He survived, yeah. So there you go.
All right.
So I hope I didn't give too much away. I gave a lot away, but it's worth watching.
No, it's fine. It's good.
It's really good. Independent film. I had to rent it on, I think, Amazon Prime to watch it.
You told it well. I felt like I was there with you.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. What was it called again? Because I want to check it out.
Back Country.
Back Country.
Yeah.
All right. Back Country. All right. So my number 5, we'll get right back to Joe, 1977. Horrifying killer whale, miscarriage, Orca. Fantastic fucking movie.
Nice.
Again, it's of the time of the Jaws ripoff, but it is good enough to be stand on its own. Mm-hmm. Right. What do you got for number 4, Joe?
So I think this one is pretty under the radar, and I can't recommend it enough. Maybe it's not, but
Star Wars.
No. Would Chewbacca count?
Yeah.
Could I have done that?
Yes.
The Sarlacc.
Well, after Tremors over here, you could have done whatever you wanted to.
Right. Yeah. The Sarlacc.
The giant sand vagina. Yeah, you could do whatever you want.
1984 from the Land Down Under, Razorback.
Never seen it. Always wanted to see it.
Yeah, I didn't see it either.
I can't recommend it enough.
The director of Highlander.
The way that it is shot, like I'm a sucker for like when like light. It sounds stupid, but like when lighting is like a certain way, the way that he films the Outback has like this blue hue that's coming up from like the fog. It just makes it even that more terrifying. And it's just a pretty straightforward. They're being hunted by a razorback boar, and I don't. Sorry if it's on your list going forward. I don't care for the movie Grizzly that much, and Razorback is everything I wanted Grizzly to be.
Is it way better than Grizzly? Because I'll tell you the truth, I was watching Grizzly not too long ago, and I turned it off after about 15 minutes because all you saw was a bear claw, and then a human arm flying, and then a bear claw from the other direction, and then a human head flying. I'm like, show me the bear.
That's exactly like the point I'm trying to hammer. It's like
I've never seen
Razorback is everything I wanted Grizzly to be.
All right. Russell Mulcahy, the guy that made his next movie was Highlander, and he did a bunch of music videos and stuff. And I've always heard, they always reference that movie, and I've just never fucking seen it.
Yep.
All right, I've always wanted to check it out.
If you guys check it out, let me know.
Yeah, absolutely.
Definitely recommend it.
All right, Manster, you're number, four? Number four.
Number four. My number four, I don't think you've ever seen, which is a tragedy. 1983, Stephen King, Cujo.
Never seen it.
Wow.
Never seen it.
It's...
Okay, look, let me be honest. As a kid, I just never caught it, right? And that's about my age range. Never caught it. As I get older, especially I have 2 dogs, I hate shit where dogs like get hurt or are hurting people. I have a problem with that stuff. So I think I just kind of avoid Cujo. Just because I know they're gonna kill this dog at the end. I know it's not the dog's fault. I know it's rabies, and I always tend to feel bad for that stuff.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you're talking man against animal, this fits the bill in every...
Oh, no, I did not think it wouldn't be on someone's list. My little issues with dog stuff aside, I'm like, we're doing a top 10.
Yeah.
And with you, fucking Stephen King,
of course. Right.
I kind of wish I put it on my list now.
And, the story outside of that is irrelevant when it gets to, the woman's there. She's got her little boy, Danny Pintoro.
Yeah, who's the
from
boss?
Who's the Boss? Dee Wallace is the woman, and then it's got Ed Lauder, and who's the other guy? Daniel Hugh Kelly from Hardcastle and McCormick.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. There's the affair and there's different things going on, but they're there to get their car looked at, I believe, and it's the mother and the son. They knock on, or I don't know if they get out. But by this time the dog's already rabid, and he's inside the house. And I think they go to the house and then they run back to the car because the dog's coming out and chasing them. And then the whole rest of the movie is just them spent in this hot, like claustrophobic sauna type car with this huge St. Bernard just all over them, waiting for them to move, just like sitting over there, just looking at them. And they do make their attempts to get out, and every attempt they make is failed, and they just goes back in. The kid ends up, I think, swallowing his tongue from fear, and I think he has like maybe asthma or something because he's having some sort of attack. It's been a while since I saw it, but it's like Jaws just inside a boat with a dog.
And the kid in the movie lives, but in the book he dies, I think. Because I think I remember reading like Stephen King was like, well, that whole period he was like extremely alcoholic and on
very
drugs.
Dark period.
Cujo doesn't have chapters; it's just like a coked out binge.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And I think I read somewhere like he like one of his writing regrets is killing the kid in Cujo.
Yeah,
because he was in such a dark period that he just
he also didn't like Pet Sematary because of the kid that got killed in that too.
Yeah, Pet Sematary was one of the only books I've ever read in my life that scared me. The book scared me. The descriptions of the wife's sister.
Oh,
Zelda.
the sister.
Scared.
Yeah.
I was literally afraid to go to. I was like 13 when I was reading it, and I was reading it like in bed at night.
Yep.
Like with my little like fucking light on my on the fucking bed frame, and I remember reading that shit and going, I probably shouldn't go to bed now. I'm just gonna stay up to the night. Fuck it.
And the effects on the dog, I mean, they were just so amazing.
Yeah.
I think they got their inspiration from the was it I Am the Walrus, yellow matter custard dripping from a dead dog's eye.
Yeah, I've seen.
Yeah, it's so gross.
I've seen some of the bits there, and I must have seen a bit of it because I do remember the scene. Doesn't he put his head in a log or something that's like filled with bats? Or
he's chasing this, through the woods and field, and he sticks his head in a hole like under like the roots of a tree or something, and that's where it starts.
Yeah, I'll probably never see that. All right, so that was your number 4, right?
Number 4, Cujo.
My number 4, right back to 1990. And right back to we talked about it a few minutes ago. Arachnophobia. It's awesome. Exact reasons I said before. Movie theater experience. I watch it like every few years. My top 5 of 1990. Great movie. All right, Joe. What is your number 3?
1980 Alligator.
Oh,
I fucking love Alligator. I love the way that, like, how big and menacing they made the alligator. I love it's just terrorizing the streets coming out of the sewers. And Robert Forster gives like a perfect performance in that. I mean, it's a B movie, but he gives it his all.
He's great.
It's super campy, but it's also super fun. I just think it's like the effects in it just make it for me.
It's another one I saw as a kid, and I got to see that again.
I saw it younger. I haven't seen it in a long time. And since we decided to do this with Joe, in the last couple weeks, a couple times, I tried to find it. It's not even like when you go on like the Fire Stick, you can't even find it. It's not rentable. It's nothing. It's like it's gone. So unfortunately, I'm sure your Plex account probably had it on there, or
I actually own that one.
you own that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, fuck. Maybe the next time we go to the archive, if they have it, I'll pick it up. Because I know, and that's the one where doesn't that start with like someone flushing? Because that was the thing in the 70s. People were getting
that's where it all started
alligators.
from.
Yeah, and
Flush
they
them down the
it,
toilet.
right?
They live in the sewers.
Yes, New York City. I mean, that probably is a thing.
Oh, I wouldn't. Yeah.
Creeping in the sewers in New York City, I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm sure the TMNT turtles were probably inspired by like people doing that shit.
I think so.
You get a turtle, it's like cool for 3 days, and you're like, "Fuck this stupid thing," and you don't want to do anything responsible, so you flush it down a toilet. Yeah.
Nice.
Alligator did spawn a sequel. It is one of the worst movies I've ever seen in my life.
Really?
So just stick with the original.
Okay. No Alligator 2?
No, God, no.
Yeah. Yeah. Robert Forster is one of those guys. He was in the first movie I ever saw in the theaters, The Black Hole. When I was a kid, the first movie my parents took me to see was The Black Hole. He was the lead in that. And then, through the years, Jackie Brown and
I was gonna say, you guys
Breaking
just did it
Bad.
on the QT.
Yeah.
Jackie Brown is so good.
He is, I think I kind of brought it up on the QT. Like, he's like a heterosexual man crush for me.
Oh yeah.
He just seems like if Robert, like, he's gone now. Robert Forster seems like one of those like guys. If you met him like in a bar or something, you probably just want to spend the whole night talking.
Oh
to
yeah,
Robert
you
Forster.
just hang out and just talk with the guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's how he is in this movie. I think that's when, like, he doesn't do anything like over the top. He's just so charismatic naturally that you just want him on the screen.
God damn it! All right.
Understated, definitely.
All right. So number 3 for Joe, Alligator. Lloyd, what's your number 3?
Well, my number 3 is a 1963 movie called The Birds.
All right. All
Yeah.
right. I think we're getting to that point where it's going to be a lot of this, but that's cool.
Great movie. Really good. I think one thing we didn't talk about was the score, the sounds, because there's no typical score in this movie. It's got some fill-in, like with some. I guess it's just sound effects.
Yeah.
And, source music. That's what it is. So there's this crazy instrument. It's not a theremin or anything, but it's this crazy instrument that they created all the bird sounds from. And it works so effectively. I mean, if you remember watching that movie, you just hear these sounds and you swear they're birds, And I'm sure it's intermingled with actual bird sounds, but high-pitched squealing, all kinds of crazy stuff, man.
Do the birds shit in this movie?
No,
Okay.
but it did spawn a pretty good scene in High Anxiety.
Yes, high anxiety.
Right.
Yeah. I have. Yeah. I got shit on by a bird on my head once, like 10 years ago at work. I was outside with a customer, and we were at his car doing something. And I never had on, and my head shaved. And we're talking, and as we're talking, a bird shit on my head.
Oh,
I felt it. I felt my head splatter, and I saw like the shit splatter on my shoulder. And neither of us acknowledged it, and just continued to talk for the minute that it took. And then when I went inside, I walked in like through the back, and I'm like, I'm fairly certain. I go in the bathroom, and there's a load of bird shit on my head. But it was like this really strange moment where I didn't want to stop and go, a bird shit on my head, and he didn't want to go, a bird just shit on your head. So we continued like a minute of conversation with him looking at me, going, this fucking guy's got bird shit on his head. And me just going, I'm fairly certain I've got bird shit on my head. Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
I'm surprised there was no bird shit in the movie.
Yeah.
So
If it
I'm
was
very
made-
surprised with the number of birds.
If it was made now, there'd be a lot of bird. Part of the problem.
Have either of you seen Birdemic?
I saw it in the movie theaters, dude.
Saw Birdemic in the movie theater?
They riff tracks. Me and my wife used to go to riff tracks all the time.
No.
They did that, and it was at the time it was like, this is one of the worst movies ever made. I'm like, okay, we'll see. Holy fuck, Birdemic that's a bad,
never saw that.
It's not worth it.
I mean, it's more bad than fun bad.
Yes,
Like,
it's bad.
I think the gimmick wears off pretty quickly because like the birds are the worst looking things I've ever seen.
It's fucking terrible. It's terrible.
Yeah, and you laugh out loud like the first scene you see him in, but then when you realize you have 95 more minutes of looking at this, like what the fuck?
The first scene in the movie is a guy driving through like the California mountains.
Yep.
It's the credits, but it's like 8 minutes long. It's just them following this guy like in a Mustang or something, and I'm like, is something gonna fucking like where are the birds in this fucking thing?
Wow.
Terrible. All right, my number 3, 1978 sequel, Jaws 2.
Nice.
All right.
Nice.
Let's go to Joe's number 2.
It's 1990 Arachnophobia.
All right. We knew this was coming. We knew when you got to the top, it was coming. All right, Manster.
Well,
what do you
my
got?
number 2, I'm sure I'm the only one with it. Jurassic Park, 1993.
It's fine, dude. It's
I
fine.
mean, it was just amazing to see this in 1993. This was the best CGI you ever saw. You were blown away by looking at this giant screen with, the T-Rex and the Brachiosaurus and all that kind of stuff. They looked real. They still look real to this day. It's an amazing job, and it's a good movie too.
I said this to my wife the other week. The term movie magic is not something that gets like
Yeah,
used so
that
often.
was pure magic.
I think that was like the last time I felt movie magic, like something like I was watching something that was like truly special, like just groundbreaking. When that happened, like I still remember the feeling, like the hype around it when people.
Yeah, me too. That's why I picked it, because it just elicits a feeling that it's immediately I can remember it.
Exactly.
Yeah, I watched it a few weeks ago and posted it on Instagram, and you actually said that.
Yeah,
you said it's the last movie that I felt movie magic with.
Did I say that?
Yeah, you did. I'm not. You absolutely did. But yeah, look, I was 18 or 17 when Jurassic Park came out, so I feel like I love that movie, but I feel like I don't have that like connection to that movie as like guys your age do. Like guys your age, that's like, to me, that's their Star Wars. Like for me, Star Wars was like, I was steeped in fucking Star Wars, right? No matter how I feel about Star Wars now, I was steeped in Star Wars. It was so special to me for so long. Yeah. And there's so many guys that were born 85, 86, that Jurassic Park was the fucking thing.
It was it. Yeah.
It was it. And I actually have a great memory. I saw Jurassic Park the night it came out with my friends. We went and saw it, and I graduated high school the weekend after. And we graduated like on a Tuesday. And that morning we had to go in for practice and then come back at like 4 to like do more stuff and then graduate. And me and my friends went and saw Jurassic Park, right? And it truly was. And to this day, I've said this a million times, one of the greatest single scenes in a movie of all time. I'm talking just a scene of what's happening. When the Tyrannosaurus roars at the end and the fucking banner falls in front of it. Yeah. My nipples get hard, dude. When dinosaurs ruled the earth. Yeah. And it just finished fucking up the raptors, and it just roars. So go, jump ahead a few years. Me and my wife go to see Jurassic World, which was fun. The first one was fun. We've talked about it. The second one was a fucking nightmare. Sure. The first one was fun. But in the first one, when at the end the T-Rex comes out, I'm in the theater with my wife, and I see the fucking claw, and I go, that's the one from fucking Jurassic. I mean, I'm literally like a fucking 7-year-old kid getting excited again. I love those movies. Yeah. Not all of them are great, but like they're phenomenal.
I'm done with them now after that last one. But that first one, that's the one that taught the world about raptors.
So our new theme song that we have on the show is by a group called Sex the Animal. It's my friend Sean from elementary school. Sean was the dinosaur kid. Yep. In 2nd grade, Sean could tell you anything about any dinosaur ever. I was a kid that was interested in dinosaurs, but I wasn't that into it. I never heard of a raptor until Jurassic Park. I got to admit, I never knew a raptor. I knew Triceratops. I knew blah, blah. I knew all these motherfuckers. Raptors come out. I'm like, did they make that shit up for this movie? And then you find out, no, these things were around. Yeah. So you're absolutely right. It introduced the world to it. Yep. It's a great movie. I only kept it off mine, and we joked about it earlier, because I was trying to keep things as real as possible. And I thought to myself, well, they used the frog DNA. So does that mean they're not really dinosaurs? And I'm like,
not hung up on that.
I know, and I feel dumb for hanging up on that, but I think I still have some good choices here. All right, so that was your number 2, correct?
2.
All right, my number 2, 1999. I watched this the other night. Love this movie. I remember the day I saw it in the theaters. I left the theater giddy because I expected nothing. Deepest, bluest. My hat is like a shark's fin.
There you go.
All right, Deep Blue Sea.
Yeah.
You just said introduce the world to raptors. Introduce the world to Thomas fucking Jane. Mm-hmm. Right? Who was this guy? He's the lead in the movie. Nobody knows who the fuck he is. He was in Boogie Nights. You didn't recognize him. He had a mustache on that. Now, this one I had a hard time with too, because the sharks are they have like some brain stuff going on. Mm-hmm. They're smarter because it's a whole Alzheimer's thing, and they're giving them drugs. I don't care. I got over it. It's an hour and 40-minute fucking ride. Right? Are you a fan?
Yeah, I like it.
Okay. It's got all these great things. Underwater base. I love movies in like underwater facilities.
Is that the one with, is it Rainn Wilson?
No. This one is LL Cool J.
Yep.
Thomas Jane. Michael Rappaport.
Yeah, I thought it was Rappaport.
Michael Rappaport. Yeah.
I said that to somebody before, and they said, no, he wasn't in it.
He's the computer guy.
Yeah, that's the guy.
He's like the second to last one or third to last one to die. Probably the first thing I ever saw Stellan Skarsgård in.
Okay.
Who was like the doctor in the beginning, who's only in a little bit of it, but it's fucking fantastic. The sharks, the animatronic sharks look great. Mm-hmm. They don't look bad. Yeah. So, and again, no matter how you feel about Deep Blue Sea, there's one thing that movie, everybody knows about that movie. It's fucking Samuel L. Jackson's death scene. Right?
Yeah.
If it's not one of the better jump scares of all time, again, I've seen this movie a million times. I watched it the other night. It doesn't work anymore, but I'm pretty sure anybody that's never seen it before, it's going to work on.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and then it also it generated the wonderful Chappelle Show line. You know, a shark ate me. A motherfucking shark ate me. So that's my number 2, Deep Blue Sea. Now we're gonna play a game with our number 1. We'll go to Joe first, obviously, because Joe's the first one. I bet we all have the same number 1. Do you guys feel confident on that one?
I do.
I feel pretty sure we've all got the same number 1.
All right. We'll let Joe start, and then we'll each agree or not agree, and then we'll just talk about it.
All right.
All right, because I think the only way this probably wouldn't be a number 1 in most people's 3 guys doing this is if we made it a rule that it couldn't be. Mm-hmm. And I initially thought about that, and I went, no, you know what? Fuck it. You know.
No, you can't take the number 1 away.
You can't take the number 1 away. You know. So, Joe, what is your number 1?
Slugs.
It's not
No,
slugs. There's a scene where it's in a head of lettuce. That's really gross. I remember seeing that.
That is a gross scene.
It is totally gross. Yeah.
No, it's Jaws. It's Jaws.
Oh, it's not King Kong?
No.
All right. No, it's Jaws.
And yeah, Jaws. Jaws is my favorite movie of all time.
Yes.
All right. So, what is it you love so much about Jaws?
Man, what is it I don't love about Jaws?
Yeah.
It's perfect in every way. You know, talk about the minor characters in this, like the mayor, just like that guy with the tits on the beach.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
You know,
That's some bad hat, Harry.
Great. Yeah.
Yeah, you know, it's perfect. Like the character development in this, which is crazy to have in a creature feature, but like you get the backstory of the lives of all the main characters on that, and it just adds to the experience. I absolutely love it. I think it's a perfect movie. I think it's the top 5 movie ever made, if not the number 1.
All right.
You get the poor woman who lost her son.
Yeah.
That scene,
You know, I every time I see this movie, I'm like, these people, you forget about this woman, but what she went through was horrible.
Yeah.
and she shows up grieving in black and slaps
Yeah,
him, and I feel
slaps him
bad
in the
because
face. Yep.
he tried to shut it down. He tried to avoid it, but he's the scapegoat.
Well, that's what's great, and that's what's great about that scene later in the movie after it attacks his son in the lagoon, and he's with the mayor in the hospital, and he pulls the sheet around. He's like, "You're gonna sign this."
Yeah.
And the mayor is like a broken robot, where he's like, he's like trying to justify what he was trying to do as the mayor.
Yeah.
In the novel, and this has nothing to do with the book. In the novel, which is not near, this is a case where everybody says the book was better. The novel is not better. All right.
I've never read it, but I've heard that.
It's not better. It's
And it's got a terrible cover.
anticlimactic as fuck. Yeah,
The cover on the novel is
it looks like a dick.
It's
Like
so
swimming
bad.
up the
Yeah.
But in the novel, there's a heavy mafia presence in Amity, and the mayor is in their pocket, and they will lose money if the beaches aren't open.
Oh, okay.
But that's not in the movie, so it doesn't really matter.
The
Yeah.
scene that you're talking about, I love because the mayor, he keeps repeating, my son was there too.
Yeah,
It's
because
Yeah.
he's like kind of like slowly like trying to justify himself, but he knows he can't.
you can't. Yeah.
You're going to hire Quint. You're signing this. And I love it that he's smoking in a hospital too, because that's 1975.
What is the drink? If anybody knows that, the drink that Quint gives Roy Scheider and Richard Dreyfuss.
I don't know. I don't
He's
know.
boiling. He's boiling.
Yeah.
Shark jaws.
I would almost say he's probably making some kind of moonshine. But yeah, don't drink that. Yeah. I don't know.
You don't know what gets me too? When they're in that meeting where Quint's in the background and you got the chalkboard and you got that drawing of the shark with a little kid in his mouth.
Yeah.
That's horrible. It's just horrible.
It's a perfect movie. Made perfect partially by the fact that it didn't work. Like
Right.
The shark never worked.
That's right.
If you have any Blu-ray version in the last 5 years of Jaws, there is there's a full-length feature documentary called "The Shark Is Now Working."
Oh, I still have to watch that.
It's one of the best ever.
Yeah.
Being a Jaws fan, it's one of the best ever. One of the best stories in the whole thing is there was a couple of models of the Orca, the ship, made. Mm-hmm. And I think several of them, like over time, were disassembled or whatever. But there was one main Orca that was left over, and it was on a back lot at Universal. And Steven Spielberg said, and they were interviewing him, and they said that he, from time to time, when he couldn't flesh out a movie, he would go to the back lot and go sit in the Orca and clear his head and write and stuff. It was something he did. And then one year he went and it was gone. And he goes to whoever, like, and they're like, oh, they ordered that to be disassembled. And he says, he's like, I've never thrown my weight around before. He's like, heads came off that day.
Yeah.
Like, you took apart the only orca left.
That's crazy.
You know, like, if there was 3, I would put them all in my backyard.
Yeah.
Like, right fucking now to preserve them for all time. I'd build a dome. I'd do whatever, but they destroyed them. But no, it's a perfect movie. Have you guys ever seen, it pops up on like Facebook and on other Instagram and stuff. Have you ever seen the picture of the shark popping out of the water? So the scene where it kills him.
That's like the only effect that really is a little wonky.
Well,
the way it comes out and then lands on the boat.
No, not that. When he's on the kid on the raft.
Oh, the kid. Okay.
You just see it in the background and you see the shark flipping over.
Yeah, that's perfect.
There's a picture, like a still picture of the shark coming out of the water about to eat him.
Yep.
And it's not in the movie, obviously.
Too graphic.
It was too graphic. It's fucking scary as hell.
Yeah.
And there's also a whole bit that's on that Blu-ray where when Michael is in the lagoon and it attacks the guy in the boat and rips his leg off. Mm-hmm. The reason Michael is actually so scared, they cut it out of the movie. I mean, you could say it was because of that attack. The guy survives and the shark has the guy in its mouth and it's going after Michael, and the guy is pushing Michael out of the way and saves his life.
Wow. Okay.
And there's a whole scene. It's deleted. It was never fully finished, but the guy's like hanging out of the mouth of the shark, half dead, and he pushes Michael out of the way. And that is like what you would assume was really behind him, like, you know, being in shock and everything. I mean, you'd be in shock anyways, but like that'd be even more fucking terrifying.
Definitely.
If you ever get a chance, it's on YouTube.
Yeah, I got that
it.
45th anniversary too. The Jaws 4K, I think it is.
I haven't seen Jaws in a couple of years.
That.
I think the last time I saw it was at Larry's show with Prana. I'm watching it like tomorrow night, maybe. All right, that's fair. All right, so that's our number one. That's, I mean, right? You said you feel pretty comfortable with your list. You think Cujo was the only one that you would maybe have jumped. What would you give? Okay, let's just go over a couple of
I've got some
couple of honorable mentions, Joe.
Okay,
just a couple of things that you might have if you had room on the list.
You know. Speaking of that bear movie, you reminded me, no, I think it's wolves now that you're saying it. Okay. No, it was when you were talking about the gray. That's what it was. You reminded me of a movie called Frozen. I don't know if anybody's seen that.
Ski lift?
The ski lift.
Yeah.
No, I only know the Disney one.
No, this was a couple years before.
It was good. I think it's by the guy who did the Hatchet movies.
Adam Green.
Yeah, Adam Green.
Yep.
Adam Green. You know, it was pretty effective. And then they're trapped on a ski lift and the wolves are on the ground ready to eat them.
Yeah, so it's actually a pretty good movie.
Yeah,
I
don't even think I've heard of that.
Yep.
I would recommend that. You know, Anaconda that you mentioned probably could find a spot on my list, but I feel pretty good about my list, to be honest with you. You know,
all right.
Creature features are fun. I think the ones that I have would be my go-tos any day of the week. So.
All right, Manster, what do you got?
So on mine, I've got Deep Blue Sea, The Shallows, Them, all on your list. In one. I just thought about it. I watched it a long time ago. It's not A Man Against the Animal, but Gorillas in the Mist.
Well, that's kind of like man helping animals.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Unless
Not
there's
the
a
same
scene,
thing, but
unless
it
there's a
just-
scene where one of those
just made me
gorillas
think of
beats
it.
the shit out of Sigourney Weaver.
Yeah.
Yeah, I never saw that movie, so I don't know.
Yeah. Just those three.
I watched, one other movie I watched last week that I had seen years ago, and I was like, maybe this will be on my list. And I remember liking it back then, and it does not hold up. It's called Primeval. It's you've seen it? Crocodile in Africa. It's Dominic, the guy from
DeCoco.
No, Dominic DeCoco. Who's the guy from Prison Break?
Which one? Purcell?
Lincoln.
Dominic Purcell.
Dominic Purcell.
Yeah.
And Orlando Jones. And I remember seeing it years ago and like thinking, oh, this is a pretty good one. And it does not. It's not. It's not anywhere top 10 level. And there's also one that I actually do think was pretty good, Australian one from the guy who made Wolf Creek, called Rogue. Yeah.
Okay.
That one is much better than Primeval. So those ones are kind of close.
Actually, I just thought of a couple more.
Oh, okay.
All right. The Reef, a movie, shark movie, The Reef. Night of the Lepus.
Giant rabbits.
Yeah, but that's not good.
No.
The effects don't hold up, but I give them credit for going there, with the killer rabbits in town.
All right.
But it just doesn't hold up. The effects, they just do a lot of close-ups of rabbits to make them appear bigger, but they don't. It doesn't really work.
That's got DeForest Kelly in it too. I
Yes,
think.
it does have DeForest Kelly in
They have a
it.
character called Captain Billy, who's the town drunk. I love
Yeah.
that little side.
This is another one I've seen bits of. I probably saw like on Channel 5 when I was a kid, but no memory of it.
Yeah.
No memory of it. All right, Joe, tell everybody out there, thanks again for coming on. Tell everybody out there about the horror show and what you guys do and anything you guys got coming up in like maybe the end of the year, anything special. I know you guys do like crazy shit. You guys like do watch-alongs and a lot of cool stuff.
For our Patreon members, like you mentioned too, we have like shout out to our fan base, like some of the coolest people in the world that have reached out to us. If you join our Patreon, we do watch-alongs. We were doing live shows via, just watching, I don't know why I can't fucking talk right now.
That's all right.
No worries.
We were doing live shows via the internet so people could like watch us record an episode live, but now we've switched the format, so we're actually streaming the movie along, kind of like The Last Drive-In with Joe Bob Briggs, kind of one of our heroes over there. So you can find us on any podcast streaming device and check us out. We just finished our like creature feature, a couple of episodes for the summer, and now we're doing I think we're gonna switch to slashers, like camp slashers, to finish up the summer.
Okay, all right, good stuff.
That's good.
Good stuff.
Sleepaway Camp.
We definitely want to do Sleepaway Camp.
It's a great movie. That's a great movie. So people can find you now. You're the horror show, but everything is kind of under I Hate Horror, right?
I Hate Horror. Sean made up that name. Again, it was kind of to like piss people off because they would get so angry at us, picking apart horror. We love horror movies. So everything show related is under I Hate Horror. It's the same on Twitter, Instagram. I think he has Snapchat. You can find me at Boognish1985 on Instagram.
All right. And Master, did you have an announcement you wanted to make for comics listeners?
Well, yeah. I just regretfully have to say I'm going to be taking a little break for a while. I have some personal matters to take care of and put my 100% focus on. But I will be back. I just don't know when at this point.
It won't be long. I'll start bothering you.
All right.
I'll start bothering Joe. If I need you for a fill-in episode, you're gonna come back over.
Absolutely.
All right. And I tell you this right now. I know this from experience. It's way more fun when he's not here. All right. I can already tell you're like, I don't know why I came over here, and that guy Manster's a little odd. When he's not here, fucking things are different. All right.
All right.
No, this is a
you
blast.
guys can have all the fun you want.
Manster, do you want to tell everybody where they can find us?
Yeah, you can find us at pintofcomics.com. You could subscribe on any of your subscriber podcast thingies there. You can go to our YouTube channel, check that out, ring the little bell for notifications. Facebook and Twitter, it's at Pintocomics, and on Instagram, it's at Pint_O_comics.
Before he says the words he says at the end of every episode, I also want to just throw out a thank you to the Black Sheep Collective, my buddy Rich.
Oh, yeah.
We did 200 episodes with them at the beginning, their song Swallow, at the very beginning of the show, and we just changed over. Like I mentioned, the Sex the Animal song called Triumph, which also opens up our radio show. So I just wanted to say thanks to Rich and thanks for 200 full fucking episodes
thanks, guys.
Of a rockin' song that we love.
Love that song.
Lloyd, say the words.
You're going to need a bigger boat. See ya.
It's over, Johnny. It's over! Nothing is over! Nothing! You just don't turn it off!